Hey y'all, this is Moni.
And this is Kat.
AKA. And this is the Fake Ass Book Club. Wait, can we both say it or no?
Welcome back, you guys. It's your girl, Moni.
And this is Kat.
Oh my God. I know you said you were nervous, but is everything okay? Oh my gosh, you guys. We're the Fake Ass Book Club, and Kat is...
Take two.
No, I love that. No, we're keeping it.
Okay, fine.
It's fine. It's the Fake Ass Book Club,
now
but
they
it's
know,
real.
But now they know I make mistakes.
Oh my gosh, it's fine. They do too. It's
what
all
about
good.
my thin veneer of perfection? It's gone.
What a way to start the show, you guys. Welcome back.
I'm obviously bursting
Oh my gosh. With
excitement for this episode.
Oh my gosh. We're always excited to be here with you guys. We're always, the thought that every week people are looking forward to hearing us talk our shit is so crazy to me. And it's just so appreciated. So
Yeah, we had some new followers on YouTube, so thank you, new followers.
Amen.
We're glad you found us.
Absolutely, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed today's episode, because we are going to be talking about what everybody's talking about, okay? Which is the explosive docuseries, Sean Combs, The Reckoning. And
Original title, Diddy Do It?
Did he do it? I'm glad they didn't do that.
I'm glad too.
Because then it's, okay, we can go into why that might not have been the best title. It's clever and funny and a little petty, which we,
I love,
we'll get into. But yeah, I think that was probably better. My friend called me and, she just wanted to check up. My friend Kat over here and co-host. And she was just like, two things. I want to, check in with you, see how things are going, blah, blah, blah. We touched base on some other stuff. And then she's like, second thing, the Diddy documentary. I've been watching it and I'm into it. And I could tell she was bursting at the seams. She was trying her best not to spoil things and talk about details. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm just waiting for her to ask, can we talk about it? Which she didn't, because she wanted it to be my idea, which I appreciate, I guess.
I feel like I brought it up before.
Oh, yes. This is not the first time this has come up.
I soft-lobbed it.
Yes. So I'm like, you know what? This is an unavoidable topic at this point. And so when it gets to those points, I do feel like, okay, fine. We'll talk about it. We are not the pop culture podcast, but it is fun to touch on some of these sort of cultural moments and stuff. So I just feel like, we'd be remiss not to. So
exactly. We're here for the culture.
We got to do it for y'all. So we are here to talk about it. And I'm going to give you the official spiel for this episode. So this week we're diving into Netflix's explosive docuseries, Sean Combs, The Reckoning, the 4-part deep dive produced by Curtis 50 Cent Jackson and Grammy Award winning, or is it Emmy?
What, for the
I'm just going to say
director?
the award-winning director, Alexandria Stapleton, that has the entire industry buzzing. The series pulls back the curtain on Diddy's carefully crafted public persona and lays out years of allegations, hidden power dynamics, and the people who say his fame protected him for far too long.
Mm-hmm.
Woo,
Dun, dun,
child,
dun.
I'm talking about, listen, it's so many things to get into, guys. So we're going to do that today. And if you're new here, before we get into our topics, we do like to dedicate each episode because it's a very important part of grounding ourselves before we kind of jump into our topics. So everybody put your hands over your hearts. So this week and every week, we want to dedicate this episode to our patrons. It's very important for us to shout them out at the top of our show because their continued support keeps us going. We truly appreciate it. If you guys are interested in supporting the podcast, please pop over to Patreon and support our podcast that way. My official dedication for this show is going to be to 55 Rose Street. My homegirl D and my favorite florist. Thank you so much for showing up for me today. Every single time I need flowers here in the Indianapolis area, I lean on her, and she's so reliable. The quality's great. The flowers are beautiful. And anybody I've ever gotten flowers for always really enjoys them. So thank you for being solid. Thank you for a good, good customer service, all of the things, the quality. So if you guys need a florist in the Indianapolis area, check her out. I'll put her stuff in in my show notes. And then just also to the idea of pettiness being like put to good use. Because, I'll leave it right there. We'll get into that. What about you, friend?
Yes. Big yes, and especially for the pettiness. Oh, boy. It just makes life delicious. But so I think last week I dedicated to the Catholic Church.
You did.
Which was
That
a
was crazy.
surpriser for
That
everybody.
was crazy.
And this time it's going out to 3 nuns. Sister Rita, Sister Regina, and Sister Bernadette. These are Austrian nuns in a convent, like they were in an order that was basically dying out. They were the last 3.
Okay.
And so their archdiocese decided they didn't want to pay for them to stay in the convent anymore, so they stuck them in a nursing home against their will. They broke out, broke back into the convent, started an Instagram page to bring attention to it, and so now their church is agreeing to let them stay. But they're trying to negotiate them out of their, because one, they started a GoFundMe too. So the church was like, y'all can stay, but you got to shut down your Instagram and give us the money. It's the correct reaction. People couldn't see Moni's face.
Oh, it was all shade.
It was like, don't
Excuse
do
me?
that. And so, yeah, that sounds like abuse to me.
Oh my God.
So we're about to dig in, dedication over.
gosh.
But yeah, this is the reaction you have to do when people try to play you like that.
That's
Because there's too
crazy.
many times in this documentary where people just rolled over when you should have been like, oh, hell no.
Damn.
But it's hard because then you're like, but money though.
But money though. And you know what I thought you were gonna say about the 3 nuns? I don't know why I thought you were pitching like a Sister Act 3 boy or something.
Oh, that'd be fun.
But, I mean, y'all
would
need to
watch
get
that
them.
movie. Get
Okay.
to work. Listen,
You guys are welcome. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the resources.
It's actually
to make
that
happen.
was. Did you ever see Cloud Atlas?
I don't think so. What was it about?
It was with Tom Hanks and Halle Berry, and they were. It was sort of a murder mystery throughout different lifetimes,
Nah.
and it's stories within stories within stories. So one of the plot lines was this group of elders who were forcibly put in a home and escape,
That's
and it was
messed up.
Yeah, it was. But the escape is always super fun. I love a prison break.
And I love a story and a story and a story too.
Yeah,
That's always a
it's
fun.
Cloud
that's a fun
Atlas
thing.
that would actually be a good holiday movie too.
Is it based on a book or anything that you know of?
Probably.
We'll look that up. We'll get back to you on that.
We'll let y'all know.
Yes, but let's get into it because this is we got some ground to cover, friends. So
It's juicy.
oh my gosh. Yeah, so this documentary literally just came out this week. Again, it was produced by Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, and Alexandria Stapleton was the director. So I don't know if you have a little something about. I'm assuming that most of you guys know who 50 Cent is, right? Like, so we're not gonna deep dive into his bio since he's the production. He was the money and the finance
it says
behind.
it like he's not actually in it, but he's
No.
behind the scenes
Of
big
course,
time.
of course.
And when I become empress of my new religion, he is going to be the patron saint of pettiness.
He ought to be. I can't wait to see that art exhibit, friend.
Thank you.
Where you crown
I
everybody
me
in their
too.
respective places.
I'm excited.
Yes.
Okay, so Alex Stapleton, or Alexandria Stapleton, we were seeing both of them. Born Kristen Alexandria Stapleton in the U.S. She's an American director, showrunner, and executive producer of the documentary feature films and unscripted television. So she did a bunch of stuff. I guess one of the famous ones, it was premiered in Cannes in 2011. What was it? Corman's World, The Exploits of a Hollywood Rebel. I never saw it, but I did see Hello, It's Me, Chelsea. That came out in 2019. Hello,
Chelsea
Privilege. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Where she
That's what's up.
documents her journey through discovering she has a ton of white privilege.
It's like
And I recommend it for everyone. Like, it was very, very
you
good.
recommended it to me.
That
And I
sounds
saw
about
it.
right. Yeah, I think everybody needs to see it. And it's funny because I'm like, I wonder if that's how maybe 50 met
Chelsea Handler.
met Alex through Chelsea.
Don't they have like a little
They used to-
flirtation thing?
they used to do
They used to
it.
do it. Oh my gosh, how festive.
Because that was back on when she had the show on E. So that
Okay,
was way before
okay.
2019 and stuff like that. So yeah, those were
Wow.
that was really funny because I remember
Okay.
him being on the show one time and it was
God.
very
Oh, 50.
He's such a joker. Maybe I'll throw the picture up right here. I showed you a picture of his face and it just made me laugh.
For 5 minutes because I was laughing at you laughing. Then I saw the picture. I'm like, yep. Yeah.
I mean, he's just a very funny person. And he's just a person you also don't want to get into it with.
It's like, it's funny when it's not you.
Big time.
So for me, like when I see that, this is why I like approach that with a little caution, because it's like, yeah, like petting, that's why I said pettiness for good can be a good thing, because what pettiness ends up being is an attention to detail, which I think you need for lots of things. It can when it's humor, because like in order to think things are funny, like you notice little things. Same thing like with pettiness, right? Like it's just like I'm noticing all these little things, or I'm keeping track. You know what I mean? And you could be keeping track for the wrong reasons, and it can be problematic. But also, sometimes it can be good that like somebody's noticing this shit and they're putting it out there. You know what I'm saying? So we can leave that right there.
But I mean, are you worried about getting on 50's bad side?
Maybe. I don't know my life. I mean, I still have lots of yes.
I feel like the people,
unofficially yes. Okay.
I feel like the people he's been upset with, I'm not in danger of doing any of those things.
Right, but I'm just saying like I don't know. I don't know. Okay. I don't want to be on his bad side. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm okay. Like I'm okay with for me, a lot of times it works out because a lot of the people he doesn't like, I don't like either.
Okay.
Because I will say, I know a lot of people have difficulty with the subject matter because, for one, they feel like it's a takedown of a black man. Sorry.
Hold on. Let me grapple with that for a second.
You're clutching for your pearls that aren't there.
Yes, they're not.
You have to clutch your solitaire.
Okay. My clavicle. Those don't go anywhere.
So... But we just did a documentary review on Netflix last week about a powerful and talented rich black man who managed to never have any of these accusations.
He was awesome. That is Eddie Murphy, guys.
So to me, it doesn't always work as this like, oh, they're just trying to take a black man down. It's like, I feel like there's plenty of powerful black celebrities who avoid this.
But what do you think when people say that, like, well, you don't see the documentaries about all the non-black men out there?
Yes, I do. I'm Kat. What do you think this is? like
actually,
of course I
see
have. I see all. Like, for one,
but they don't.
Right.
So it doesn't exist, friend. What do you say to
me,
those?
That's the other thing about this documentary that was very interesting, which is about how we consume media and the messages we get to how things are sort of spoon-fed to us, and then we don't leave room for critical thought. So to me, I think it's a macrocosm of something that happens in homes every day when someone's like, hey, I'm being abused in this way, and you don't like where they're saying the abuse is coming from. So it's much easier to go into denial and just credit the person who says they're being abused. And so we see this way too often.
Yeah.
Like it just happens all of the time, and just for whatever reason, the fame and the fortune just make it that much harder to get justice for people who've been in these situations. For me, it wasn't hard. Diddy was never a hero of mine. I never cared for the fellow. And
the fact that you're calling him a fellow.
Yeah, I never cared for the chap.
Never cared for the chap.
Just, for one, just visually, I didn't find him visually appealing. And that's just shallow.
Let's just stop there for a second.
Okay.
Because again, I mean, this isn't necessarily pettiness for good. This is just pettiness for the sake of pettiness because we're here now. But since you're bringing that up, it's like, am I missing something?
As far as what?
Why he's other than the money, like obviously, right? And
I don't think anyone's ever been like, ooh, he's so fine. Except Tiffany Haddish in Girls Trip, maybe. But I'm pretty sure that was just written into the script. I don't think like,
right, but I just okay, y'all help me out, listeners. Has that been the thing where people think he's fine? I don't remember anybody.
I mean, I remember he being in them Sean John ads. And I remember just thinking to myself, I'm like, it's
his forehead, it's the eyes.
And he always was so incredibly shiny. Like, that's wild, because that's when the baby oil stuff came up. And it's just like, ooh, this is actually starting to add up because...
Yeah, so and it's fine. Like, there's people who don't find us attractive, perhaps.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, which isn't
that
like
doesn't
inherently
mean you
wrong
should,
or
or
anything
that doesn't
like
mean
that.
you're
Yeah.
good or bad.
But
It's
just
to me,
just because we're petty in this book club, he's not cute.
He's
You know what
not
I'm saying?
getting the halo effect from me.
No, not at all.
Where you just like automatically put good traits on someone because you find them attractive.
Exactly.
So
Not for me
I was
either.
we're already there. And then there was the fact that he wasn't, to me, all that good of a performer. I didn't like him seeing it. So that's why I loved when Suge was like, when he did that thing at the Source Awards.
Were
Was I with you watching that?
I don't
Probably.
know, but
maybe not. I just remember watching that in real time, and that low definition television, and cracking up because, oh my God, thank you for saying that. Yes, I am tired of seeing this nigga all in the songs,
all in the
videos, dancing,
twirling.
I've actually, you know what I did? Because one of my favorite songs from the Life After Death album is The World is Filled with Pimps and Hoes. I'm sure that's very shocking to you.
Of course.
But I actually went in and edited out Diddy's part so that I could just listen to it without his voice.
Oh my God. You're like, no, I've never seen it for him ever. And that still stands. Okay?
And that still to this day. And then when you find out more, and to me, it's so funny because to me, there was just a lot of parallels between him and our current president, where it's the same thing as like, you see this person getting all this admiration. It's like, for what? I like when Lil Rob was like, why you like Diddy? What did he ever do for you? It's like, this person, it's like he's just a persona and not a very good one.
Okay,
so that's how Kat feels about it.
That's a good place to jump in though, because
Okay.
I feel like when we start, so like, of course, this is a 4.
No, Moni, did you always love him?
No, I mean, I felt indifferent toward him.
Sure.
Like, he was just like the
You
price
just
I
there.
had to pay to listen to the, you know what I mean? Like, I liked all the artists on his roster. It was like, well, fuck it. If I got to listen to Faith, I want to hear Faith. I mean, he's in that motherfucker. So I guess that's what we are. Like, I didn't edit him out, but I also, you know what I mean? I wasn't looking forward to his parts though. You know what I mean? So like, whereas there are people who just like hated his guts, like, or just really, it was like I was like, I mean, he's producing these people, and again, like, I wasn't ever really looking forward to him specifically, but I did like all of the artists. I loved
Jodeci.
112. I loved Jodeci. I mean, like, Bad Boy,
Total.
all of the artists that he produced were like ones that I like. They were actively
soundtrack of our childhood.
my childhood in real time. So I just felt like it was like the price I had to pay to hear the music I wanted to hear or whatever.
It's like, here you go.
I guess we can't not hear this nigga too. He's there. So but a good place to start, I think, is episode 1, because it's 4 episodes, and you start off with him in his hotel room, and he's on the phone with his lawyer, and
That tripped me out.
Yeah, so what threw me off was all of the footage that they had. That was footage that apparently Diddy recorded himself, and people who are around him, including commissioned himself, including Alex Stapleton. She was saying that like he's notoriously always recording himself all the time. So since he's been 19 years old, so he's all this footage anyway. So, but he's on the phone with his lawyer, and the conversation is kind of around him feeling like the narrative that's out there right now. Like, I don't feel like the PR, I don't feel like the media his team is going hard enough on his behalf to make him look a certain way. And he was like, we need the dirtiest of the dirty. We need people who are like equipped for like propaganda, basically, like really to push against this narrative. Like, we need people who are willing to stand up and say good stuff about me, you know, all of this kind of stuff. And so
It's a strategy.
I was like, God damn, wait, I wasn't expecting
Me neither.
to go straight into this footage. You know
Because
what
I was
I'm
like,
saying?
wait
So-
a minute. Because I was thinking, wait, I thought this was 50s doc. I really did have to like hold on. I was like, hold on. I was like, is this the? I was like,
This
okay.
the one where he hates
'Cause
him
I
and
was
he's
like,
gonna drag him the whole
this. He's framing. This is like Diddy's framing this right now. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna stay.
Interesting choice, though. I
Interesting
feel
choice.
like that
but I
was,
felt that was intentional.
it was.
It was like the hook to be like, hey, but like, I don't have any agenda.
I'm just here telling and
Presenting facts.
So
I did look up how he got that, how 50 got this footage, because
Okay,
right
well,
now
let's talk
Diddy
about
is
it.
he tried to send a cease and desist Netflix.
Yeah.
You know, trying to say like, hey, that's not fair, that's mine. Here's the thing.
Okay,
if
what
you don't
happened?
pay for it, it's not yours.
Okay, so what happened?
He commissioned, from what I understand, from what I heard from the streets, is he did commission this footage, didn't pay the crew. So what happens is when you don't pay for this, then you don't have rights to it.
Right.
And I guess the way their licensing thing was set up, it's like, well, I haven't paid for it. I can license this to someone
whomever.
else.
Yeah.
And guess who just happened to have a demand for
like-
Diddy footage? It was
Wow.
just Mr. Jackson right there.
Okay.
So it's funny because, you know, he usually is so good at being a businessman. I think he had too many balls in the air. And he's also notorious for not paying people. And now it's finally coming back to bite him in the ass.
Wow. Okay. And so
he's trying to say the crew signed non-disclosure agreements. But I think since they're not personally talking about it, it's just the footage. I don't think they're in violation of the NDA. And he tried to say, too, it was a violation of client-attorney privilege because he's talking to his lawyer. But it's like, you have a camera crew there. That's not a reasonable...
And you commissioned this particular...
Yeah, so you've already waived it
you
by
could have
having
walked
them there.
into another room and had your private conversations to ensure that at no point... Because that would be me. Like, I'm not getting ready to... Even if it's the realest documentary I've ever done of my whole life, just know that shit right there, if I'm talking to my lawyer, it's not going to be recorded.
Well, it was... I felt like it was somewhat performative.
Yeah,
anyway.
I'm sure it was. It probably was.
But yeah, but just so people know, like, where that footage came from and why, because that was wild.
Well, here's what the director says. So she explains that the origin of the footage, this is quotes, it came to us. We obtained the footage legally and we have the necessary rights. We moved heaven and earth to keep the filmmaker's identity confidential. One thing about Sean Combs is that he is always filming himself, and it's been an obsession throughout the decades. We also reached out to Sean Combs' legal team for an interview and comment multiple times, but we did not hear back. So
I did see that multiple times throughout the documentary.
So that's what happened was apparently. So that's
and if they don't know about Netflix don't take nothing down. They was like, y'all can complain all you want to, just click on something else.
Yeah, you don't have to watch it.
No.
It's fine. And,
that's how Netflix feels about it, in case you don't know.
Yeah, so it was just really crazy too because, you know, again, you're having this intimate conversation or performative, whatever, conversation with his lawyer, and not cracked me up, but it was like, it reminded me of R. Kelly a little bit because, you know, he was talking about fighting for his life. You know,
I was at the same time.
It's not funny to be fighting for your life because obviously when you have,
it's a little funny.
I mean, right,
for them, because you're not.
Because I'm not fighting for my life. So, but it was just like you're in a similar situation where you're at this what is it? What's the word? There's so many words. Intersection, or this heightened part of. You know, this is 6 days before all of this shit goes down. So, like, it's a pressure cooker right now. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm sure he's feeling that. So, I want to make sure that I'm recognizing that, like, he probably does feel like he's fighting for his life, right?
Sure.
So, it was just funny, though, because it's like, man, that was the same shit R. Kelly was on, too. Like, I'm fighting for my life. And
here's the thing. It's like, but it's a whole nother thing when you're innocent. Like, then that's not funny.
Exactly.
But
it's funny because it's like,
I feel like Huey Freeman said it best. Like, the U.S. government conspires to frame and imprison Black people all the time. R. Kelly is not one of those people, and neither is P. Diddy. Like, it was. Oh, but you know what was interesting? That I feel like didn't get enough, like, that I haven't heard enough chatter about? The fact that New York had a, like, rap, like, unit, like a hip hop.
Oh yeah, what book were
Prodigy's autobiography?
We didn't read that one, but it was one I read with you. It was the Jay-Z.
Yes,
Decoded. He touched on that too. So yes,
the fact that there was a whole police unit dedicated to locking up rappers, I think that's fucked up.
Yeah,
mostly because I don't think there's any evidence that they're just more violent than anybody else and had to be. It was just racism to me.
Because you could take the same take for country music when you have all these
outlaw, whatever.
outlaw stuff and killing, your spouse and all this kind. You know what I mean? Like, but they're not taking that shit serious.
No,
so.
to me, it was just very much rooted in racism. And I remember in Prodigy's book, he had talked about if you're interested in this, I would recommend reading Prodigy's autobiography. Rest in peace. He talked a lot about 50 and just a lot of things he noticed. And in fact, Prodigy caught a gun charge in New York and got an offer for immunity if he set 50 up with a gun for the hip hop unit. Yeah. So, and he turned him down and told 50 about it. It's a very interesting story. But to me, I was like, that kind of collaborates that story.
Absolutely.
Also, the black police officer who was in the rap unit, do you remember him? Who had like the super Beijing in his beard and mustache? Do you remember him?
I'd probably try to put that man out my memory.
I'm gonna try to find it. It was
no one should have
you
to
could
see
tell
that.
He knew he was like told the barbers like, "Hey, I'm gonna be on this documentary." Just kind of
it spray that black ice on my top lip.
It looked like Wooly Willy. It was bad.
Oh
and I remember looking at his little Chiron, and I was like, "That's what you get, cause you a
wankster." Play the music.
I just feel like it's strange to me, just a black man who like specifically is part of a police unit that specifically goes after black men.
Yeah, you look silly. So,
yeah. So
it's like self-hate much.
Yeah, whoever did that to you, because here's the thing. Next time, don't get jet black, get darkest brown.
Don't help him. Fuck that, friend. No, don't get it at all. Okay? This is a problem.
Take that out.
Don't get that.
Sorry.
Sick of it.
Sorry.
Helping these niggas.
Or just everybody. If you gonna do the Beijing,
ones we like, then,
for one, just leave the gray in your beard. Like, I feel like it's
like that's one of the benefits of being a guy. Like, it's nobody's ever telling a woman, God, you look so distinguished with that glitter hair in the front. It's like, no, you look an old bitch.
Yeah. With
like
men, you get to be distinguished. You get to be a silver fox.
You get to be
and stuff like that. So yeah, just take it easy with the Beijing. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. But yeah, so the whole first episode is really just kind of giving you the buildup of like Sean Combs as a 19-year-old trying to come into the music business, all that kind of stuff, and then just like building himself up. And you see him as this like party promoter. You see him what's the guy? Not the producer, but the music guy, the guy who he took under his
H were the initials.
Why can't I think of his name?
Andre Harrell.
Thank you. Andre. Mm-hmm. So he was sort of his protege. He was like kind of his mentor or whatever, and kind of got his feet in the door with that. And you could just kind of tell like he was really like he wanted to be in the spotlight. Mm-hmm. And he was a very eager sort of like, I'll do whatever it takes kind of person. So he definitely had a lot of drive and stuff like that. And he got this opportunity to be like, was it the A&R? For his company? But anyway, he was starting to be able to interface with like some of the artists and stuff like that. And he started throwing these parties. They were wildly popular. And I didn't realize that college party that he threw in New York City resulted in a death of like 9 people and stuff. I do not remember that.
I've always been a reader from way back, so I remember them talking about that and like the different hip hop publications and stuff like that. And I actually think that led to a lot of my anxiety around crowds that I've always had.
It's like because people die when people gather.
Like when there's stampedes. You know what I mean? When there's too many people and it was just not enough security,
and just
overselling it too, and overhyping it and stuff like that. It was just, once again, the result of a very young mind.
Of course.
Because what was he, 19 at the time? Something like that. It's like, really that's about what you expect. No event insurance, I'm thinking.
Gosh. Can you imagine?
No.
Like, what a nightmare.
It was really messed up too, because a lot of times when I've heard this, Amber Ruffin was talking about her in her book. Like a lot of times they charge you more if they know it's a black event because they just
feels like a liability. somehow. Yeah. So then, I mean, after that, you kind of see.
But that got him famous. It
Right,
made him
like
famous.
he gets this notoriety and stuff, and people know these parties and stuff. And then as he's kind of ascending in the ranks with Andre Harrell, there gets to a point where like they have some contention with each other, and he ends up kicking Diddy out because he just starts, you know, feeling himself or whatever. It was like a whole situation. So in episode 2, they start.
But he let him take Biggie.
In episode 2, they see him having to strike out on his own. And as part of that deal, it was like you can take Big with you because he had just signed him or whatever.
Yeah.
So that was like his first big artist, and he put Big on, and he was really starting to build like the whole bad boy brand and all of that kind of stuff. And let's see, what else did they get into? And then they start drawing the line with his affiliation with these street guys and stuff. And it kind of, and I forgot to mention too, you know, they talk about his mom. So his dad, I guess, passed away when he was little. His mom, they made it a point in the documentary to point to the fact that like she kind of kept him like as a dandy. Like he would always, you know, she tried, like maybe he was trying to make up, and of course this is not a speculation, we don't know this for sure, but like I would imagine that like parents do try to make up for, like if you have a missing parent or something like that, you're trying to give them things. So, and he was also in a party lifestyle. Like his parent, his mom was in this party lifestyle.
It was unconventional childhood.
Very unconventional, very much so.
For sure.
And it seemed like they romanticized his dad's gangster affiliations, maybe.
I have to say, I never got great vibes from his mom. You know, just
was it the blonde wig or?
It was in the contacts, yeah. A lot of the times, to me, it was. The visual communication was communicating, I don't really know what time it is.
And maybe my son is my boyfriend?
A little bit.
He's my man? Kinda?
And like I said, the documentary alleges that, well, it doesn't allege. She straight up said she used to whoop him. And it sounds like it might have, because his one friend was talking about how, like, yeah, that shit, it was more than just whoopings. Like, it was
he used to get his ass beat.
Yeah, because we got whoopings. I wouldn't be like, oh, nah, I wouldn't. You know the difference between
when it's personal, when your mama's whooping your ass, when it's personal.
Yeah, and to the point where there was someone who said that they saw him get physical with her before.
Oh, yeah.
And they both say that never happened, but.
Okay.
He denies a lot of stuff. He's like, no. And just as someone who's had a lot of men lie to her, you kind of know what it looks like after a while.
Well, in the second episode, like I said, they sort of show his building, his brand of bad boy, and then like he signs Biggie and he gets these other artists and stuff, but it also kind of coincides with that whole West Coast, East Coast battle. I mean, we grew up, like we were in the middle of that. And
I mean, when Hit 'Em Up came out, that was not like us. That was our not like us. Like, because it just came out. It was like, whoa. First off, I think, and I stand 10 toes down. I think he did fuck Faith.
And of course, she's not going to say
it's my words or dead man's.
It's like, of course not.
Deny till you die.
And he was like hot at the time, like obviously. And I mean, nothing. I mean, and rest in peace, Biggie. But it's like
they had Faith and Big had a tumultuous relationship.
And you know he was fucking hoes. Let's be for real.
I mean, there's Lil' Kim, Charlie Baltimore, and then I'm sure a plethora of hoes.
Yes, of hoes. And Pac had abs and beautiful eyes
and
so what
personality.
Were you supposed to do? Swag.
That looked like fun.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have. I mean, it's messy if you're married, though. But
I don't know. It goes either way. Pac wins, because if he's lying, he's fucked up your family.
That part.
And if he's telling the truth, he
fucked up your family. End result, you lost. Okay.
And the whole point is like she was in a position where she could have.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So
for sure.
Bless her heart though. Big love to Faith though.
Yeah, big love to Faith, man. Love her. But also
there's nothing I wouldn't have done.
But what was crazy is like you had people who were actually Crips and stuff. Like they're the guys. So there was like this one guy who's, I forget what the testimony is called. Like when you're talking to the proffer. Okay, so he was giving
this is Keefe D.
Keefe. Oh, wow. Keefe D. Oh, that was good. I mean, there were so many people who talked in this that you remember.
Listen, that was
you said you saw it a bunch of times though at this point.
I haven't
heard it in the background.
Yeah, it's been in the background.
It's in your subconscious.
To me, because what stood out was there was just a federal agent talking about the only people still alive that are responsible for the murder are P. Diddy and Keefe D.
Man.
So.
And everybody else dead. So, but yeah, it was him talking about the whole thing. He claims that he got propositioned to kill both Tupac and Suge for $1 million, but he only paid him the $500,000 because he didn't get
got
Suge
one
or whatever.
But he never got the money.
But that was crazy. That
There's no
refrain was
honor amongst motherfucking
said,
thieves. I tell you what.
Now,
when I was younger, I had always thought this was in my young mind. I had thought Diddy was responsible for Biggie's murder and Suge was responsible for Pac's murder. But the thing I couldn't reconcile was like, but why would he set it up when he was in the car? Because he got grazed too. I was like, so I was never truly sure. I wouldn't put it past Suge, but it was like, and plus he was like an investment too. He never got his money out of that investment. So I was like, yeah, this actually makes more sense that it was Diddy, especially because Pac mentioned that in the song.
He sure did. And again, like this is all alleged stuff. He's never actually been charged with any of this stuff, but they make a compelling argument for it in this. So like when you watch it kind of unfold in sequential order and how it could, I mean, it's definitely probable. Like there's
you know what else is probable?
What's that, friend?
Diddy getting killed in prison.
You think?
Yeah. I think once again, I don't know 50 Cent, but from what I can tell from what he's laying out and the timing of the release of it, I'm like, I wonder if he's trying to get him killed in jail.
So wait, why are you saying that though? What do you mean the timing? Who's there now? I mean, like,
just street code stuff. You know what I mean? Because
you're
he's
from the streets. First of all, the fact that you're
I'm clearly from the streets, Moni. What are you talking about?
Stuff is crazy.
What about my thin wrists say that I'm not from the streets?
Oh my God! And your 3 layers of tights. Go ahead and tell me, friend. With your manufactured BBL, let me know what it is.
It's just he laid out a lot of violations of street code.
Okay.
And then there's some allegations too of him maybe even working with the hip hop, because he's never got hemmed up by the hip hop police. Except for the ones, okay, let's go back to the nightclub shooting.
Let's go back, because this was episode 2.
Yes. Well. And so that took Johnny Cochran from getting OJ off the hook for killing a white woman.
Right.
In America. Okay. But I also feel like that was America punishing her for marrying a Negro, too.
Well, there is a price to pay.
Yeah, you can't come back. Yeah. Yikes. So, the nightclub shooting, okay, because I remember this so well, because we would, like I said, sit around Sunday dinners, reading gossip magazines, and P. Diddy and J-Lo would be featured so much. And I didn't once again, because I don't want to be, I want to be a girl's girl, because I definitely admire her ambition, but I've never been a big J-Lo fan either.
Right. Well, and if we can just, cat out the bag, she can't actually sing.
I think that was one of the things that bothered me the most.
Yeah. She was just beautiful and could dance. So it's like, of course, there's a lot of artists.
I love Selena.
She did a great job.
I did love Selena, though. I love that movie. Yeah. And that's about it.
I mean, she's got some stuff. I mean, she's fine.
She's got charisma.
Fine.
She's got star power.
It's like she's
To me,
fine.
what she did, which a lot of people do, is use the kind of black bump to get popular and then been like, I'm white Hispanic peace.
Yes.
So
leave all this niggardly shenanigans
now
in the back.
It was a wise move to be like, peace forever to Diddy.
For sure.
You can kind of see why I was like, but it does sound like she lied about it. But just to get out of it, because I probably would do the same thing.
Get me out of here. I'm not getting ready to, whatever. Hey.
But because it ended up with another woman getting shot in the face and her never getting any kind of retribution once again.
Barely even talk about this lady. Matter of fact, what is that lady's name?
I know, that's a shame.
Hold up. Okay. Natania Rubin. Okay. But so her name is Natania Rubin, I think.
Okay.
If I'm saying that correctly. Forgive me if it's not. But yeah, like we should know that lady's name. That's crazy. And she said she saw it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. J-Lo for me, I feel like for you too, like I don't dislike her, but I can't. I mean, like, she's not on my playlist. She's not like in. There's not one song that I'm like, ooh, let me play that one J-Lo song.
That's true. I don't have any J-Lo downloaded.
Like, you know what I mean? But I mean, I don't.
I remember that song. If you had my love and I gave you all my...
I mean, they were fine. Like, if it came, like, I'm not requesting this. I'm not going up to the DJ booth in my heyday being like, play if you please. What's the J-Lo? Like, I don't want to.
I mostly just visually.
Yeah,
like,
she was
a
beautiful.
style icon.
She always looked
She
great.
had moments for sure.
It was mostly the fashion, and again, she could definitely dance, and she was a whole vibe. She was She was fun to look at, like, obviously, but that whole situation was really, really messy, and I think too, you know, by the second episode, like, you realize, like, the through line that I feel like that was crazy was that, like, he's been associated with so many awful events, you know, so many awful and violent events. And I'm like, because there's time in between them in real life, because news cycles and stuff like that, you know, we have short-term memories or whatever. So,
Cat.
And it's like, dude, I know I do, a memory of a gnat. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. But to see it all in sequential order and to see, like, damn, like, there were so many things he was involved in that was like, wow, the common denominator is this nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Every single time.
And
so
he
it was really, really
slick
crazy.
ass, just every time.
With his stupid lip poking out. Ugh.
I was just sick of seeing him dance.
His dumb face.
That's why I loved Chappelle's show so much when he would spoof Diddy.
Because he was like doing the dancing, looking all
I was
stupid.
like, this.
Oh my God.
And I did not like Making the Band. That was not my shit. Like,
that show?
Yeah. I didn't care for it. I used to always call it because it was called Making the Band. I was like, this is making the show. He's not trying to make a band. He just
wants to be on TV.
This is early reality TV. He's just, I did not like that at all.
He was awful to them.
Yeah,
man.
I didn't like watching that.
It was real bad. I'm glad you mentioned that because that's when you kind of transitioned into episode 3. So now this is after Biggie was shot and killed, which was extra crazy. And like you say, what was crazy is they kind of alluded to, like, he was responsible for that because of they were supposed to be overseas doing some PR and Europe and stuff.
And Big was talking about, I want to go to London. I'm like, you're a grown man, go to London.
Yeah, what are you waiting for?
You don't have to listen to your cult leader. Just see what happens if you disobey them. What can Diddy do to you for real? But they get you in this mindset of, and I get it, because I don't know.
He's the one that got him out the hood, though, kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and there is a lot of, and I'm saying grooming not even in the way of, like, sexual with them too.
Yeah, there's all kinds of grooming.
Grooming of, like, you know, I'm the one taking care of you. You know what I'm saying? So, like, everything has to come through me. I'm taking, you know, I'm the one who, so yeah, I think that there's probably a lot of that at play. So, but anyway, so after his death, I mean, he's getting extremely popular because, again, at this point, he has all these artists and stuff like that. And then, let's see. This is when you see all the interviews from, like, Day 26 and Aubrey O'Day.
Well, wait, I want to go back to the death real quick. Biggie's death.
Oh yeah, let's.
Okay, at the BET Awards when he does that doom 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 doom
with
doom
Sting,
doom doom,
came out twirling.
So you mentioned your mother hating this. When I tell you, me, same. I remember in that moment feeling a vitriol of, like, hate that I can still tap back into until this day, because I remember thinking to myself, this is not how somebody acts when they're actually missing someone. They don't turn it into,
oof.
You know what I mean? Like,
Wait, so you mean to tell me if I died, you wouldn't twirl on stage for me, friend? With Sting, if you had the chance?
Every chance I take, every bit I play, every single day. Oh, I hated it so bad. I just remember thinking it was just really freaking weird. And also,
gross.
This is after Tupac's death, too.
Yeah.
So I'm already really raw. You know what I'm saying?
This was a terrible moment in time,
I just hated that so much, and it was too opportunistic. That's to me what was very clear. And at this time, I'm a teenager, and I wasn't a very savvy teenager either. It wasn't like I was super shrewd, but even that cut through all the bullshit, and I was like, that
something ain't right. Something ain't right. Yeah, he just, I mean, but also too, he just
He's finessey.
It just, there feels like there's this veneer with him anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's easy to be like, man, this dude is slimy. You get the vibe that he's sort of a slime ball anyway. But what was real sad too was that they allege in this documentary that, like, after he passed away and stuff, the money, he had this huge lavish funeral, and it sounds like Biggie paid for it. Like, everybody thought like.
And when I was trying to describe this to my aunt, because I was talking, because she doesn't care nothing about it, but I had to talk about it.
Oh my God, why you do her like that?
Well, she was like, well, don't most people pay for their funerals? And I'm like, you know what? You bring up a good point. Most people do pay for their funerals out of their estate. But this wasn't a funeral. This was a production. Huge production throughout all of, were they in Brooklyn?
The Bronx or something?
I know. Sorry, I don't want to
that's disrespectful.
In one of the boroughs. In one of the
respective borough.
Right.
The appropriate one.
And so
the one that makes sense in this story right now.
I can look it up, but y'all know.
Yes.
For the people who know, they know. But for the people who remember that, because there were multiple limos,
procession, they shut down the street.
Yeah,
people were hanging out the windows.
It was huge,
like,
and once again, it was a huge catharsis, and it was very important, but. That was less money that went to his children and his mother and everything like that. Like, it was very, because at first I think he was trying to pay for it, and then he saw how expensive it was, and then was like, you know what? And actually, go ahead and pull that Rolling Stone cover with Big on it and just put me on it. To me, that's how you know. That's super foul.
That's foul, yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Gross.
Like I said, like, when we were talking to a lawyer when we were setting up the trademark and everything for this podcast, we had to fill out a questionnaire. And Tracy Atkins, thank you.
Shout out
one of the questions was, in the event of the death of, your co-host, what will you do? And I put give up.
Yeah, she thought that was hilarious when we actually had the phone call, because we had to submit the paperwork and then we had the phone call. And she was like, I had to chuckle with it because not give up. But okay, it's good to know.
I was like,
I'm not continuing on.
It's like, are you kidding me? It's
you should have said you were going to perform a twirly song on stage for me, and I'm very disappointed.
It's like, this is for Moni. Right. It's kind of hard for me, not around. That's why it's just you looking down.
Not that. Oh, wow.
It's so Jenna Maroney from 30 Rock.
Ooh, real fake. If you haven't watched that show, she's the fakest of the fake. It's like, girl.
She was like, wait, Jenna McCarthy died? Who could have been slowly poisoning her?
God. It's like, I guess I'll take her part. Good thing I'm here. Yeah, it was very much given that. But it is sad.
He's
when you think about it, like, from the standpoint of, like you said, that's taking resources away from his family. You know what I'm saying?
And it was super hard for me too, because Biggie was an artist I liked,
loved, and respected. He was so good.
Like as opposed to, it's like, damn, so Diddy's still here? Like, Tupac's
he gets to still do music?
Yeah, I was like, I was really messed up about that. So I'm sorry.
But you could tell too, though, that like he, or you get the sense that, and especially in this documentary too, like, it's not, well, they kind of say it out loud though, but he seems like he's jealous of his artists, or that he envies them to the point where he wants to be in that space, and the people around him that do all these interviews, it's like he wants to be that guy. You know what I mean? But you're not the one with the actual talent though. So not the star power. Not that type. Like, you're.
What are you talking about? He did that hit song, Walk With Me, that from Godzilla. Remember that? That
was
I remember
trash,
hating that fucking song. But here's the thing, that's when he got white people on board.
That's what I was just getting ready to... Okay, so not to be rude or disrespectful, but of course they liked that, because it seems it's always the song that's diluted and watered down. But also, when you speak about that song, one of my favorite parts in this documentary was also the person who wrote that. I forget his name, but he was a Bad Boy artist at the time, and he was like, he had to coach Diddy through this. He was like, the way he was saying it was so corny, and to hear him,
that was Mark Curry.
I think you're correct.
Thank
because I
you.
could picture his face, and yes, that was Mark Curry. He was like, he was making fun of the way he was saying it, and I was chuckling.
I love when he said straight up, he was like, yeah, his rap skills were garbage.
Garbaggio.
Yeah, non-existent.
And he was like, no, I had to like give him the sauce. Like I had to walk him through it. Like I had to put my teat in his mouth and basically
puppet him.
Yes, through it or whatever. And then it's like when they showed the performance of it, it's like that song was not great. Maybe if Mark would have had a chance to perform it the way he would have, it could have been better.
But
it just was.
I remember
great.
not liking the movie and not liking that song.
No, but
there's a lot of Mountain Dew commercials.
Oh God. I hate Mountain Dew as well.
Yeah,
so
it
goes together anyway. So now you're talking about episode 3. So but also in this episode you get all these interviews with artists that he worked with and stuff like that, and they started touching in on the Cassie stuff, which you really, you get a sense of it because they even though they didn't really get into the freak offs, like they don't really show the parties, which I thought was an interesting thing. What I can imagine is that nobody actually went to go on the record talking about none of that shit.
Oh no.
It's like, hey, we're doing this documentary about these freak offs that we know you were at. So we're not saying you participated.
It's like, hey, Leonardo DiCaprio, what were you feeling in this?
Yeah, what was going on? So I'm pretty sure that was hard. But you do get a sense of, when he met Cassie, she was 19, very young, and just love bombing her and then like getting her in the fold and like dangling the carrot of her music career, which I only know one Cassie song. It's me and you. It's me and you.
You know I'm the kind of one to see what that. She would have actually. I actually really enjoyed Cassie.
That was a good song.
That was a good song. It was also too because they didn't talk about Kim Porter's death, which was interesting too because I always thought that was wildly suspicious.
They didn't talk about, like, they talked about a lot, but there was a lot of stuff they did not talk about. And it's probably because
too much.
You can't.
Yeah, you can't touch on everything.
And again, people are only willing to give so much, so you can only really build your story around what people are willing to talk about. Right. But anyway, you get
and she still has children. You know what I mean?
That's
like
true
that,
too.
Surviving children and stuff like that.
That's true too. You want to be respectful of that.
But yeah, the Cassie stuff was
rough. Really sad. And then especially when you bring in oh boy,
the
sex worker Clayton Howard comes in and talks about
that shit was weird. I actually didn't even really want to know that. I feel like I already believed everything Cassie said. Like I didn't need a collaborator, but I mean, it's good that they brought that in just for proof and stuff like. Because some people need to hear it and like know that, but also the age.
Wow.
I feel like people need to be more upset about these like grown ass men dating teenagers. Because
if you're 18, you a grown ass woman and you can, legally, yes, you can make some choices for yourself, but I also feel like to not acknowledge the gap in life experience and
the power
to manipulate.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like, come on.
And the fact that
so yes, they're legal, but but everything that legal isn't right though. You know what I'm saying? There's lots of stuff that's legal that's like that's probably not best practice though. And this like isn't great.
And did we talk about Aubrey O'Day?
I was trying to.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I was trying to because we had to go back to the death and stuff. But in episode 3 is when they talked about Aubrey and a lot of the artists and stuff like that.
Because I remember when she made her allegations about Diddy and nobody cared.
Yep.
Because people always ask like, why didn't you say something back then? She did. Mm-hmm. Nobody cared. Nobody cared because they're like, well, I don't want to get disinvited from the Diddy parties or I don't want to lose. That's a legitimate thing. I don't want to lose my job.
Yeah.
And she was talking about like, well, in the real world, if your boss does this, they get fired. Aubrey, let me tell you something. No, they don't.
Right. It's like as someone who has had a job, maybe, but best case scenario. But not always.
Best case scenario, but for the most part, no, that isn't what happens in the real world.
Yeah.
Usually,
it's very similar to what happened there.
Yeah. Like just so you know, because I know you probably never had a regular job.
Right. Good for you.
And also, her mama was wrong for telling her not to go to law school. Like,
She
you
was
could have.
like,
You're
you
too
too
beautiful
artsy.
and creative. It's like, go to law school and
Do
do plays
both.
on the weekend.
Girl,
like, I'm
thank
telling you, like, get your
Thank you.
education.
Get your law degree, because then you could have sued the shit out of this man, because you would have had.
And you
the-
would have
once
known what your rights are. And
Exactly.
it'll also teach you, I think people who get jobs in like any kind of profession, you see a lot of stuff play out because you have to deal with real people's lives. And so you get to see a lot of patterns play out. And then once you're on to that game, you're not,
You're like-
it's harder to fall into it because you're like, oh, I know what this is.
I've seen this before.
But
yeah, her allegation was crazy too, because it sounds like whatever happened to her, she wasn't even aware of. Like, this was something that she heard secondhand.
and once again, it would be one thing if she was the only one alleging that, but it seems like he's drugged a lot of people without their knowledge.
But the thing, what struck me about her telling that particular story, because I know her whole thing was like, because I wouldn't play ball and be hit.
You wouldn't fall for the grooming.
Yeah, like I wasn't getting ready to do that. That's why I basically got fired. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure she and a lot of the people who worked with him saw a lot of really crazy stuff. But the allegation that she was saying was like that she was sexually assaulted while she was drugged. She doesn't have any recollection.
Well,
of
she
it.
didn't allege that.
That's what I'm not saying
Oh,
she
okay,
did.
okay,
I'm saying
okay.
there
This
was
the
an
allegation.
The allegation
Yeah,
is
that
that
someone
she
saw that.
Right. And somebody's like, no, it was you. I saw it.
I know it was you.
And she was just kind of like, look, if this bitch is lying, I would spend my time going after this person because that's really fucked up. But also, if she isn't lying, I didn't want to know this.
Yeah.
Because I want, like, imagine, I feel so bad for the people victimized because it feels like it's something you can never get from up under. You're always and forever associated with this awful thing. You know what I'm saying? And it like tends to precede you. Like everywhere you go, it's like, oh, this is,
you're
one
that
who-
girl.
Yeah, and it's like,
And it's
that's got to be
well,
tough.
we'll probably talk about this in the future, but this book Yellowface, because something similar happened in there too, where it's kind of like, I don't know and I don't want to know. Like this is just too messed up. And okay, because I think I talked at the beginning how this is a macrocosm of things that happen on a smaller base, because I think culture, in some pockets of culture now, there's this idea of you can't enjoy a person's art if that person is problematic. And so I think what happens is when that's the standard, people refuse to see someone as problematic because they still want to enjoy their art. And it's like, I think we need to get rid of that, because let's say, for instance, Frank Sinatra. You know, like, oh, his song, I like his Frank Sinatra. He likes a little bluesy lounge, you know, The Way You Look Tonight. He was beating up Ava Gardner, like left and right. Sidney Poitier beating up Diane Carroll. I remember I brought that up to a family member one time, and they were like, oh, I don't believe that. I'm like, why not? You think she's just making that up about that nigga? Like, this isn't something fun to make up about people. I know there's this prevailing narrative that women make these allegations up just to bring men down.
And some of them do. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are women out
There's
there.
a non-zero.
But it's like
It's
again,
minuscule.
You're focusing on the 0 point whatever % of women who do that, or the one whatever.
It's the same thing as when people commit insurance fraud.
Yeah.
Like, do people commit insurance fraud? For sure. Should we get rid of insurance? No. Like, most of the time when someone's making an insurance claim, something really happened. And we have investigators, because it's really easy to find out when someone's lying about crime, because people who haven't experienced crime don't know how it happens. That's usually how police figure it out, because it's like, oh, that's not how crime happens.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, it's like I can actually, even Tupac, when he was talking about his shooting, he was like, this wasn't no robbery. He was like, robbers don't leave.
I still have my $500,000 chain. Or
yeah,
bracelet
and my
or whatever, watch
Rolex
or whatever.
and stuff like
yeah.
that. He was like, just for people who don't know, like that's not how robberies work.
Ain't that
So yeah, like that's just something to keep in mind. But I think overall for our culture, we have to maybe come up with what restorative justice looks like, because it might not always be punitive, because we always think like, oh, well, this person did this, so they have to be punished, they need to suffer. And I that makes there's a certain logic to that, but a lot of times I feel like our culture isn't any closer to getting out of this abuse cycle.
Like, what is the fix,
we're falling
though?
more into it,
yes.
and we're falling more into denial. so that we can keep moving forward and not have to hold the people accountable.
Right.
Because that was always so funny to me, because in a lot of red pill circles, they're always like, what about Cassie's accountability? Just like that juror who was like, well, she kept coming back, and there was just so much passion.
This motherfucker, and that was in the 4th episode.
Yeah, that's in the 4th one.
I was like,
I was watching it with my daughter, and she
disgusting.
was very like,
I'm like, wait, pause. Okay, so there's 2 jurors, and the guy they were asking about Cassie and Diddy and that whole situation, and they were like, it's what are your thoughts on that? He was like, it's a love story. He was like, they just loved each other passionately, and he was like, basically use the example that like it's a hand clap. Like you can't make this sound when one hand isn't touching the other. So he basically he couldn't have abused her if she wasn't there. Which okay, but. How did she get there, and why did she
and actually
stay?
you can slap with one hand. They weren't clapping. It wasn't.
You can punch with one hand.
And to me, that's also just for someone who hasn't, if you haven't observed or been in an abuse cycle, this does seem very foreign. To you,
that's what I was like. I'm thinking to myself, like, this is the If it was like a look up abusive relationship, the high highs, the low lows, it was like they would get into a fight or whatever, and people would even say like, he just got through kicking her, blah blah blah, did all this stuff, and then they'd be in the back room, come out, and then it would be like nothing happened. Yeah. And it's like, then now y'all texting each other and back on. That's what happens.
That's a coping mechanism.
Yes.
Like you go into denial and you tell yourself this won't happen
it's fine.
again.
That was just one time. He was just angry.
It's not surprising that because she was 19 when they started up. Well, guess what? Your brain doesn't firm up until you're 25. And then once you're finally able to actually have a fully functioning brain, it takes a little bit of time to, she had to have help escaping him.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like a decision like, oh, I can just leave. You saw what happened when she tried to leave.
I'm about to say, I saw the video.
I was even talking with a client about it too, because they were like, well, why didn't she go down the steps? I'm like, well, first off, she was very sheltered. She might not even know about steps, honestly. If you don't, you would be surprised what people do or don't know.
Trauma, you're just, you know what I'm saying? You're just trying to gather
and also not
together.
For nothing, because you've seen him
right. I mean,
and with and without her knowledge.
Yeah.
That's the thing too. So you don't know what state of mind she's in. And then it's sad to think about, but she's probably thinking about if he catches me, I am going to get my ass beat. Do I want to get my ass beat on carpet or concrete?
Damn.
You know what I mean? So it's because if you're on concrete steps,
that hurts more, guys.
It does. So a lot of times when you are in abusive situations, the abused person is thinking of mitigating how much harm they're going to, because they know there's going to be retribution.
Yeah.
She's even talking about now she's afraid of retribution from him.
I would be too.
Yeah.
I would be too. That's extra crazy.
She tried to, because that was one of the things he got off from, trying to blow up Kid Cudi's car and kidnapping Capricorn.
Yeah,
I can't remember her last name, but the jury just flat out didn't believe her.
Capricorn
Clark.
Former assistant creative director of
And
Bad
like
Boy.
I said, and once again, this reminds me a lot of Nobody's Girl, because once again, people who grew up in abusive environments are easier to abuse. So she's talking about growing up in a very chaotic environment with a drug addicted mother.
Her mom died when she was 16 because she was basically a crackhead.
Yeah. And so you get into this position where you're used to this chaos, you're used to denial,
Feels
you're
like home.
used to, and that chaos feels familiar. And like I said, we just,
I mean, and you know that it's fucked up on some level, but then at the same time, you're like, well, I guess this is life. Because this is what seems to come, and it's like we're all resolving sort of subconsciously, the way that we grew up. So whether that's abuse or whatever, you're gonna be attracted to that in some way, shape, or form. You're gonna be faced with it. You know what I mean? So, but I thought it was crazy that they were like, it just seemed so dramatized. It was very emotional sort of testimony from Capricorn Clark, who again saw everything, was there for everything, and she just was kind of saying she never actually really wanted to speak on it, because again there's a part of you that wants to disassociate from it because you don't want to acknowledge it, and that there is this narrative that if I am saying all of the worst things about this person that we hold up in our community, who represents Black excellence in a way, because he owns, not only is he wealthy, but he represents culturally hip hop, right, in some way. Also, you own your own alcohol brand, right? Like that's big. We're talking about Sean John. We're talking about music. I mean, you are clothing line. Like this is representation in spaces that you just don't always see Black folks and exceeding and excelling. And also too, like you're the party guy. You're the person associated with all of
those
these
white parties.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like he's a gatekeeper. You know, he's one of the main people. You don't want your story to be the reason why people feel like
and as
they're
you
breaking
see,
this shit down.
There's also that, at least for me, I know there's this feeling of like, am I even going to be believed? Which she wasn't. They were just like,
wasn't.
oh, because that one, both the jurors got on my nerves. Because it's like, because P. Diddy, he was making the same faces I was making. Because it's like, what? It's
The
like,
fact that he got to turn around and kiki with the jurors was like, really?
I thought you weren't, and it was very interesting the way
The art?
well, that
The art was
and
good.
just the way the documentary, the editors framed it, where you have the one juror talking about like, oh no, we couldn't make any eye contact. If you did that, then you'd be in trouble. And then her saying like, oh yeah, we were making the same faces and like, yeah, it's like obviously and here's the thing too, because when the trial was going on, I intentionally was not following it. Because I had a feeling it was going to be
a hot mess.
theatrical. And like I said, and once again, P. Diddy's very savvy. He's like, I don't want to be on CNN. I want to be on TikTok. Like people aren't, I want to be, like
What
I
about
want
the millions of people who don't
watch that.
CNN?
Yeah, he was like, I need to be talking to the influencers. So he paid influencers to be like, man, where's the accountability, man? What's wrong? There's nothing wrong with being freaky. I don't know if you've heard some of these arguments.
Who even said that? Nobody said anything. That's the thing.
I've heard that a lot.
Well, no. I'm saying like I'm sure people were saying that, but I don't think that's what we're talking about. I don't think anybody's talking about people being freaky.
Yeah, they are. Well, that's what.
Is
but
that what he was
framed it.
charged with? That's what I'm saying. Like that's again, that's how it gets skewed.
The public perception it's like, oh well, he's being put on trial for having
For
freak
baby
offs.
oil.
And it's like, and then my whole thing is like,
Costco
so are we
crates.
just gonna ignore the fact that he was putting like drugs in the baby oil? Like to me, that's the problem with the baby oil. Listen, I have
and
no
also,
problem
like,
with
oil
consent.
Based. I mean, were they using it as actual lube?
Moni, I don't want to think about that. So I'm just gonna power through.
Okay.
And
because I'm like, this is
because that's not very safe.
No.
We should let you know, like you can't use baby oil as
You
lube.
don't. You shouldn't
well,
be-
but was he even using condoms?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
don't.
So whatever. So there's that. But once again, for the amount of people, mostly men, that I've heard trying to make excuses for P. Diddy and the fact that like, oh, free Diddy, and man, ain't no wrong with having freak offs and blah, blah, blah. Okay, you say that when you wake up sore. You know what I'm saying? Like you wake up sore and have Diddy show a video of you. That was the other thing too, because even before he got rich, he was on this. Because what was the woman's name? Joy?
Oh, that was messed up.
That was super
Joy
messed
Dickerson,
up.
alleged victim,
where
and
he
former
was
acquaintance
before
of
smartphones doing revenge porn.
Yeah,
And
because he asked her to come to this video thing with him or something to be, and she's in this video where he's there, and then at some point he ends up
dosing her.
Yeah, and
That happens
nobody
a
believed
lot.
her. That's
That
crazy.
to me is what needs to be communicated a lot more to young people, especially just make it part of sex ed. It's like, you can't drink around everybody. Like, that's just a simple fact. Like, life isn't like Friends. It's not TV. Not everybody's your friend. Like, there's people who very much are going to slip something in your drink and take advantage of you. And you might get a DUI off of that because you'll drive not knowing you got dosed. Oof. I've known people that's happened to.
Really?
So, yeah. So, it's a very real thing. Was that the alarm?
No, that bin went off. Oh. Actually, you know what? I'm glad you said that. Let's take a break, friends.
Okie dokie.
We'll be right back. Okay, guys, we're back from the break. And, I guess we have to get to the end of episode 4 so we can, kind of come full circle with this. But, so obviously this is the episode where, like, He's actually coming out with his new Love album and all this stuff, and he's collaborating with this.
Because wasn't he changing his name to like?
Yeah, like he was going on this press junket talking about he's changing his name to Love because I'm all love. I'm in a new era, so I want to do this. Blah blah blah. He's known for that though, right? Like
Lots
over
of
time
name changes,
yeah, all of that kind of stuff. And so he was trying to work with these different artists, and he found this artist Lil Rod that he ends up like bringing to. I guess there was a song that he really liked that he ended up producing because he wanted a certain feel.
Yeah, he
And
wanted it
Michael
to sound
Jackson.
like It Can't Help It.
I can't help it if you
If I wanted to.
Great song,
Which
by the
was
way.
written by Stevie Wonder. Yeah.
He should have got Stevie out there.
You know?
But anyway, so he takes him like on his yacht, and they're like, it's like 13 months worth of footage that Lil Rod has and stuff, and he's kind of sharing his story. And basically, come to find out, this man, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like they're not explicitly saying it because like he's telling his experience kind of in sequential order, but it gets to the point where he's talking about waking up sore, right? Yeah. Because we see him working with him. They're working on the music and stuff like that. And there's things that are happening too, because here's what got me about Lil Rod's story though. So there was a point in which before they actually started working on the album, they were in a studio, and he alleges that Diddy and his son Justin go into this room with somebody, shoot him, they leave, and then like when the police and stuff come, he goes in after the fact and is trying to help this guy, and they're like asking him to lie and say like, or actually not asking him, he was like telling him, don't tell them it didn't happen in here. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, what was crazy was that after all this happened, the police came, they took him out, everybody went back to business as usual.
Like nothing happened.
Now, the kind of thing that I want to tell my kids is that like, I know you have hopes and dreams, right? Like you're there knowing that Diddy's like this gatekeeper of your opportunity to be in music, but we have to make choices, right, in our lives, and they can't be out of desperation. We can't look at these people like these are our only options.
That's a scarcity mindset.
It's a scarcity mindset, and it's like when you look at somebody like, if I don't get my opportunity through him, that I won't have the opportunity. I wish what Lil Rod had done at that point, that should have, in my mind, been a red flag to him to say, I can't fucking be here. That could be me.
This is not a safe space,
because
right.
that's how I would have looked at it. Like, I don't know what happened, but like the fact, and nobody's saying that nobody's alarmed and shit. But at that point, I felt like he should have been like, yeah,
like,
I'm
warning.
But he didn't. For whatever reason, that red flag didn't go off. And he was like, after he heard that song, because they continue doing the process, he selected him to be the producer for that project. He's with him for 13 months. They're doing this whole thing. And he's noticing like,
he's having blackouts.
I'm having a blackout. I don't remember what the fuck happened. And then I wake up one night. He's like, I know we fucking hoes. Because now that, it's like, okay, there's these girls and stuff. But then he wakes up and Diddy's in the bed. And he's like, and I don't remember what happened. I'm like, this is real crazy. And then after he drops the album, he doesn't pay this man. And you get these voicemails of him being like, making excuses why. And don't trip, I got you. And blah, blah, blah. And so, and then shortly thereafter, Cassie drops her stuff, right? And that's when the allegations and stuff like that. And then he shortly, because I was like, who is this guy?
I wasn't familiar with him. Well, once again, because I've never been a fan of Diddy's musical career.
Yeah.
So I didn't know about this album, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure it was a thing, but I don't remember anything about it. But you know what it did remind me of? Baby Reindeer. Did you ever watch that?
Did not. I do know the premise though.
Okay, so they're similar. It's very
for those
lot
who
of
don't
parallels. Okay, so Baby
maybe
Reindeer, get Netflix. Go ahead and get that Netflix login. It was slightly fictionalized, but based on real experiences by the main character in the story and the actor who played. Like, it was this guy who was trying to make it in comedy and writing, and then linked up with this producer who kept promising him stuff, but really just kept drugging him and essaying him.
You know what I mean?
So but he kept going back. It's so weird because people, if you've never been in an abuse cycle, God bless you. We don't get enough, and that's the other thing too. Like, I feel like if there's more education about how our psychology works, and especially our sexual psychology works, it would be better than being surprised, like having this sprung on you. This is why pimps are able to do what they do, because you're able to
pimps again. Jeez.
That's how I feel.
When will they ever stop?
That's how I feel whenever I hear these stories. I'm like, pimps again.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you know the game ahead of time, you're able to spot it. And so at least it makes it easier to spot and see yourself in it, because a lot of times your mind is doing so many things to reconcile what's going on, like doing all this cognitive dissonance so that everything can feel normal.
Yeah.
But if you're used to having a regular nervous system, I think this is harder to do this too.
I think so too. And I think also too, like hearing his story, I think like, like when a grown man hears a story of another grown man saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, so for one, you've witnessed the shooting thing, or you didn't see the shooting, but you know the aftermath of it. You had, in fact, the footage is from your cell phone because it was like after the fact. And then you have I think it's hard to fathom being victimized, right? Like as a man, because I think, especially when it comes to sexual assaults and stuff like that, I think that men, it makes more sense in their mind for it to be like a woman or something like that, you know? But I think, because he even kind of made it clear, like right after he chose me to be the producer for this, my career instantly, like, boom, it was like, oh, now we're here. He's promising to give me the house next door to his house. He's promising me this and that. And, you know, he's building that foundation for, you know, whatever. And again, like, I don't know what happened in Lil Rod's life, you know, that the red flags didn't go up. But I think that it's hard for people who don't, like you say, if you don't have that lived experience of abuse or lack or whatever it is that allows you to go into situations with a certain level of naivety, thinking like it's not gonna be you, or even like you said, just flat out fucking ignoring the signals and the signs, you know what I'm saying?
Just straight up denial.
And a lot of times, again, it's like, you're like, okay, I'm willing to ignore this because I feel like this is my only chance to do this thing.
Yeah.
So again, like that desperation that you feel to have this thing that you say that you want, you know what I'm saying? You're putting yourself in that situation. And then at the end of the day now, it's like, was it worth it though? You know what I mean? Like you get, and this dude, I don't even think he said to this day, $29,000 was the only thing they agreed to pay him, and he still never got that.
Nope.
And I'm like, that's extra crazy. So now you feel
he's one of the pending 77 civil lawsuits.
Oh my
that's
gosh.
mentioned a lot of time.
Like every time it starts and finishes, you get the stats on how
Yeah, and we were talking before too about how Mr. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson is an imperfect messenger for this message because he's got a lot of his own dirt too. But I will say he's never been Me Too'd. So I always bring that up because it seems like that's a pretty big bullet for a lot of people to dodge. Like
so
not
hard.
a lot of
so hard, man.
Super duper hard. So he's mostly, to me, because we were talking about like why 50 and Diddy have a beef.
Right. I was like, what is this initial? What was the inciting?
Because I feel like I
incident for
learned
this?
a lot about it from my favorite pastor, Joshua Johnson.
Did he break it down?
Yeah.
I need to watch that. Is this
I'll
from the
try to
recent
send
one
it
or
to
old
you.
one?
This was a couple months ago.
Okay.
Because he was the one who put me on to the fact that 50 was releasing a documentary called Diddy Do It.
Oh my God. Diddy Do It.
They changed the title,
Yes,
obviously.
thank goodness.
But he was just talking about, because he was the one who was telling that story about how when Ja Rule got out of jail, Diddy bought up the first couple rows of his concert just so it would be.
That's so petty. You know, this is what makes him, you know,
the patron saint of
a
pettiness. Like just
sure.
Hall of Famer for sure. Also, you know, Fitty. He it's just because I didn't like Ja Rule either. So when 50 got Ja Rule up out of here, I was very thankful for that because I didn't.
Thankful.
I
Everybody never giving it up. Is that what he said? I don't think he said that. You guys are welcome.
Into a Stevie Wonder cover.
Cookie. Oh God, you ruined it. You don't do that to an icon song like Stevie Wonder.
I just didn't like. I didn't really like any of the murdering stuff. Like that just too. But also, what was that? Early 2000s.
Yeah.
I had just become a mother.
Yeah.
Like it just wasn't.
That was awful. That song was the worst. Oh my God. Let's see.
Yeah, but so that's when I kind of been like, I like this 50 Cent fellow. He hates who I hate. So
I mean, that's
it's probably
always
the
nice.
same reason people like Trump. It's like, oh, he hates who I hate. Let's vote
there's
for
that.
him. I'm sure nothing can go wrong. Like I said, saw so many parallels because people do not want to believe bad things about their faves. Even though this person, the one thing I really did appreciate Lil Rod for saying, or Rod?
Little Rod.
Lil Rod,
excuse
for
me.
saying, he was like, why you love Diddy? What did he ever do for you? It's a good point because I think he was one who was saying like Diddy don't really even like be around black people like that.
Damn.
Like I think that was in the fourth one where when he was on the people on the street and dapping everybody up trying to get that footage.
I'm so glad you said that.
I love to make people
Oh
happy.
my gosh. That was one of the things that stood out to me in this documentary because I wasn't taking it so much that he didn't like being around black people, but common people. So even, I mean, his core base obviously probably is black people. And it was like, of course, okay, so right, you start off, even so white people and black people, all artists do this. Like you're using the pop culture power of black art and its influence in pop culture to propel yourself to a certain level. And then once you get to that level, you can disassociate to an extent, right? OJ effect or whatever. And then when you're in trouble, you find yourself in the street shaking hands with the same people who put you where you are, because those are the ones that are riding for you. These are the people in the street saying free Diddy with the signs and all this kind of stuff, and so excited to meet you, want to still take a picture with you, no matter that you have all of these allegations. They seen the video of you whooping Cassie's ass. They don't give a shit about that.
Nope.
I want a picture with this nigga. He's my fave, you know. But he was like, he gets into his car after the fact, and he's like, I need some hand sanitizer. Like, oh, as soon as I get home, I need like a hot scalding bath. It was like he was disgusted. Now, okay, listeners, your friend Moni here. I keeps the hand sanitizer in my bag, in my car.
It's called
I
a flu
put my
season.
gas. I was so happy during COVID that like that was a thing, because I was always like, why don't they have hand sanitizer
Everywhere.
at these pumps?
maybe
and stuff?
give me
It's
6 feet.
disgusting. And maybe give me 6 feet. So I get like, I'm in the public, I'm shaking people's hands, which can be gross. I don't know where your hands have been, you know. So okay, that's fine, but it wasn't giving.
It wasn't that.
I'm grossed out because I'm a germ. I don't like germs, or I'm a germaphobe. It was giving, I'm disgusted by these people. You know what I'm saying? Like these commoners, these nasty, like, ugh. Like I was like, oh
Trump.
my God.
When he was just like,
yeah.
nobody want to see that. When he was trying to, yeah. It's so weird to me too that we worship like wealth. Oh, here's the other thing I wanted to bring up too. Because this is also very important for avoiding abusers. Just because someone calls themselves a Christian and has a lowercase t on their necklace doesn't mean they're a good person.
Not the lowercase t.
Because Diddy had all that. He's on the treadmill watching Hezekiah Walker, doing all that stuff. Guess what? It's not a magic spell that keeps bad things from happening. So that's just something important. Like it takes more than just professing your love of Jesus Christ. Like, what are you living? Because I'll tell you what, Jesus Christ wasn't super cool about hoarding wealth. It's just something I feel like needs to be brought up, because man, people love bringing up Jesus. Every minute it's
really
like, man, God got me. Oof.
Yeah, it just, again, there's this performative factor to it, you know? And again, like it's not even like people require you to do anything to back it up. You can just say it.
You just say it and they'll be like, oh, well,
This the reason why somebody like a Charlie Kirk can be
Yeah.
lifted up and now he's a martyr
he's a good
of sorts.
Christian
It's like,
man. It's like, wow.
show me.
Yeah, where?
What happened?
Did
I miss it?
He's good at following a brand. Like if you're treating it as a branding document, but if you're treating it as like the life and mission of Jesus Christ, you're way off.
Yeah, definitely way off. But like when I was like, so I just looked up what sparked the beef.
Okay.
So something, now I don't know if this is true either, because this is just, I put this in the chat thing.
This is AI,
Yeah,
y'all.
so this could be absolutely wrong. But it says 50 Cent tried to sign Mace, who had been affiliated with Diddy's label, to his own G-Unit imprint. According to 50, Diddy demanded what he considered an unreasonable price to release him from his contract. So he didn't like the way he did business. He felt like it was whatever. So, and then public diss track escalation, more than just music rivalry. In 2006, 50 dropped a diss track titled The Bomb, in which he accused Diddy of possibly knowing who killed the Notorious B.I.G. The allegation was explosive, unproven, and deeply inflammatory. So, of course, he didn't like that. Unmatched values. So basically, like, I guess 50 represents this self-made person, and he's just this corporate glamour, kind of like a dingleberry on other people's, it doesn't say dingleberry, that was my words. But 50 has also framed his own rise from the streets through pain, authenticity, and survival. So he doesn't really respect, I guess, his
same.
Yeah, his whole thing. And then over the years, 50 has said that he felt uncomfortable energy, this is in quotes, at events associated with Diddy, and an offer that made him uneasy, an invitation to, air quotes, go shopping, vibes he interpreted as predatory or weird. So, yeah, so lots of different reasons or whatever. If I don't say it, because that's one thing 50 was saying too, like, well, if I didn't say it, everybody's acting like this is just hip hop or some shit.
Right.
When I don't feel like that.
I don't like how you're representing my brand.
But also, do I think that's his number one motivator? Hell fucking no.
I think it's pettiness at the end of the day.
Definitely
and winning.
pettiness.
He likes to win.
And it's not the victims either, let's be clear, because this is what I'd like to see. Because the way that it wrapped up, you don't really see, like, what's the thing that we're doing for the victims though? Like, I mean, we are giving them the platform and the story and stuff, but
the money he's getting from the documentary is going to victims.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't see that anywhere, because that's what I was
I
gonna
did
say.
look that up. Yeah, it's not
this
necessarily going to the victims, Diddy's victims, but it's going to victims of domestic abuse.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
and I hope
yeah,
that
the
there's
proceeds
some
are going to
support.
that.
So
Yeah.
because if we didn't,
I'm
learn
sure
any-
that was Alex's idea. The director.
Oh, probably, yes. Sorry, I was like, Alex, who's that? Yeah, I mean, so that's what I was going to say, because it's like, don't put all this out and have people reliving their trauma.
Yeah.
And there's no real thing happening to support these people, because when we read the Virginia Roberts story, Giuffre's story about her victimization through Jeffrey Epstein and Maxwell. Why can't I?
Ghislaine.
Ghislaine.
Oh,
Ghislaine.
I would say Ghislaine.
I know you do. Ghislaine. Now, I was trying not to say that. Because it kept popping to my head. I'm like, it's not that. It's not that.
But man, her daddy sucked too. I just learned about him.
She was saying that it was, damn it, Kat.
Oh, about the victims. Because it takes a lot to get over this.
Because you have to keep reliving it. She was talking about how
Yeah.
painful it was to keep having to fucking talk about it over and over and over again. So I'm hoping that there's some sort of like aftercare for these people in terms of like them sharing this story and being able to help them move forward. So if you had to say one nice thing about Diddy.
I really like Jodeci.
About Diddy.
I really like the work he did on the Jodeci.
The work he did. Okay.
And Sean John was a good line of clothing. Like that was actually, I mean, he didn't design it, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? But it's so funny because, my son, he's a fashion guy. So, he's thrifting and he's found like some really good Sean John pieces. But he's like, I think I'm going to like make alterations so you can't see the Sean John label. Because these are actually quality pieces. But he's like, the last time I went out in one of them, he was like, oh, you got on a Diddy fit. And because niggas. And it was.
He was like, oh no.
Oh no. He said they weren't cutting him up or anything, but he doesn't want to
be
represent that and stuff like that. So one thing I will say about Diddy is that Sean John was a good line of clothing.
Okay.
For the most part.
Right. I mean, right. It can't all be hits. But,
yeah.
If I had to say one nice thing, it would be he has a full head of hair as an old man.
Sure.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Follicles.
Follicles.
He's got follicles.
He's got follicles.
Not morals.
No.
Don't need those.
Not a requirement.
He definitely doesn't have any Beijing.
Oh my God, he didn't need it. He didn't need it. You know what I'm saying? I just was like, damn. I just kept noticing that he had a full head of hair. That was just
I was just noticing because the pictures now he's gray.
Yes.
So
very much so.
Yep.
That spray paint is gone.
I won't even go there.
Nice. Listen, we'll be here all night. You guys. I think it's...
because here's the other thing I didn't like about Curtis. Because he was doing an interview with CNN, I think. I was just reading it. And he just kept bringing up the fact that Diddy's the only person who's locked up for transporting male prostitutes. And I'm like, that's the thing about 50 Cent. He tends to be a little homophobic too. Like that is something that, and what's sad to me is that a lot of people dropped their support for Diddy when they found out he was bisexual. And that to me isn't the problem.
That shouldn't be the line you're drawing.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I'm glad you're not supporting this fuck nigga anymore, but it was like it was so that if he was doing this to women, fine, but the line
But
for you was
men,
like, men,
absolutely,
nigga, that's gay.
They don't deserve that.
And it's like,
dude, fuck out of here. But again, this makes me think. See, I'm glad you
it's
brought
the
it
lack
back
of
too.
consent that's the problem.
It's the obsession like that men have with anal sex. You know what I mean? Like it always comes to that. It's like always the prank,
The booty hole.
It's like right.
Oh,
It's
because you had that
crazy.
story about that young man who died at work from people playing with his booty hole. And it's like, what in the world? Like, first off,
Kat, you can't just.
you showed me. I didn't even know about that. That wasn't even a part of my world. And you gonna show me
Instagram showed me.
Don't put it on Instagram. You don't have to show me.
It
I
popped
didn't have
up
to
as
know.
soon as I
I could
opened
live
it.
the rest of my life without knowing that. But
my
yeah,
God.
like y'all
I was
need
like,
to.
what young man? And then I'm like, okay. First
Everybody
of all,
needs to stop being so hostile towards consent.
They really do. And I just, you know what I was thinking too about like the biasness of a petty person like 50 Cent. Like, cause I do think that I'd be remiss not to mention that like, yeah, like if you're ops, again, if they're making a documentary about you, absolutely it's their, I can't assume that he has pure intent. Like he can say like, oh yeah, I wanna highlight victims and stuff like that. I don't buy that. Like I don't think that was the driving force. I think that it was like,
I hate this nigga.
I hate you, and I'm going to, because I can and I have the resources, I'm going to. Kind of like I'm buying the concert, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Out so that you're
And you
embarrassing
can't say
yourself.
this is someone who wants to take down a successful black man because I
He's
am a successful black man.
This is purely because I fucking hate your guts. You
Right.
know what I mean? And I don't G for you. You know what I'm saying? Like on top of everything, I hate everything you stand for and whatever. So this is why I'm doing this. You know what I mean? So he can pretend. I mean, I guess you do for PR have to say, well, no, it's about the victims, because I think those are like the sub. Like I hate your guts, and then it's like, okay,
Yeah,
section
and while
A,
I'm here.
victims. Yeah, like I mean, there's some
That's like
some
getting
other
a
points
ketchup
we should
packet
make.
when I'm somewhere. It's like, that's not
Right.
what I came here for, but yeah, I'll take some ketchup packet.
But that's why I'm saying, like, hopefully there is some full circle stuff about that. But I feel like, wouldn't it be crazy if Diddy if he comes out of prison and then makes his own documentary about 50 Cent?
Oh, I'd watch it.
Would you? But then that puts money in his pockets.
Would it? I just
I
watched
don't
it on Netflix. I don't know.
Don't they get paid for that?
I don't know how anything works.
That's not true. You do too. Know how stuff works. Okay, you don't know how that works. Don't you try?
Well, I mean, okay.
But I just think that would be like, what if the pettiness
I
just
find
kept
a
going?
bootleg way to watch it. I do something somewhere. I'd find some kind of way to watch it where it wouldn't benefit him.
So that you
but
usually get paid for the stream.
I would, because I just have to know what he's saying. But the whole
Because
thing
my
is, like I said, at
documentary-
the end of the day, 50's never, of all the people who said stuff about 50, none of them's never been like, he took my booty hole without consent.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, if that's the only measure of like what makes somebody a bad person, again, like to me, it's like goes back to that
That's
concept.
a really
of,
bad line
What?
to sexually assault people. Like,
No, it is.
oh.
I'm not right. Full stop. Excuse me if that sounded like I was making it
No.
seem like it was great.
Well, because for
No.
a lot of people, it doesn't bother them. Like the jurors.
Unless it's a man.
You know what I'm saying? Like for the jurors, it's not like that's.
It's
not,
like he beat
for,
her ass, but
for
that's not
most
what he was-
American voters, it's not disqualifying. Like our,
That's
you
true, our
know,
president,
sitting
look at him.
president essayed a bunch of people.
Oh my
Don't nobody
gosh.
care.
That's so messed up.
Guess it was women. So, you know, that's what they're for. That's how they're used.
That is how they're
That's what they're
used.
for.
Next caller.
So nobody, it's a deep-seated, and like I said, even the homophobia is seated in misogyny. I even think a lot of Diddy's violence towards women, I've heard this said before. I don't know how true it is because I'm not a gay man or closeted gay man. But a lot of times there's this idea that they're misogynistic because they hate women because women are allowed to be with men and they can't openly be with men.
Damn.
And that's where a lot of that anger and hatred comes from for women and why they feel the need to constantly bring women down and stuff like that. So just another reason to not be misogynistic.
Don't
It's
do it.
Yeah, unless you want me to think you're gay.
Oh my gosh. Well, there you have it, guys. That was the episode. This was a lot of fun. I mean, you know, again, this is a long one, guys. Because guess what?
It was a lot.
It was just we couldn't.
So
just skip
how
over
would
it.
you rate it?
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5 bottles of baby oil.
Oh, that was going to be my metric too.
Uh-huh.
But I'm giving it 5 out of 5 bottles of baby oil.
Okay.
Because to me, problems and all.
You've loved
this
every
is what
moment
I've
of
been waiting for. Oh, I love a good takedown because man, we need to stop worshiping these rich dudes
Yeah, it's a problem.
immediately, if not sooner.
Yeah, and it is nice because that was brought up too. I do think that was something that was highlighted, you know. But mostly it was like, look how terrible he is, and it was just like, oh
how
God,
it's never enough. Like I said,
Oh,
like
God,
you're
no.
so powerful, you're so rich. Why do you need to do this? And he doesn't seem happy either.
He looked in his footage. He was
wouldn't
so
sleep.
zooted.
Because he would listen. If you
zooted.
go multiple days without sleeping, you go crazy.
He looked like a demon.
People-
his eyes, like did you see his face?
Well, I remember for the longest time he just wore glasses all the
That's
time,
probably
like Jim
why.
Jones, because your eyes were so freaking red because
Oh
you
my
weren't sleeping,
God.
because you're so paranoid, because you know all the dirt you're doing.
And you've been up because you're high.
That part too. Like it's just so many
takes
mixtures
drugs.
of things. Like you need sleep. Sleep is super duper important. You're not lazy. You're not missing out this rise and grind stuff. Get some sleep and water.
He was so high, you guys. How could I forget that?
And the fact that he used to not touch anything. Like he used to be straight edge when
He
first
was
starting out, and then
so
went
high.
into when he got hurt.
He
When
was so high, cut his hand or
Oh,
wrist.
because it was a mixed story. It was hard to get the truth out of the story, whether Kim cut him or he cut himself, or it was like all this drama.
And then when you start referencing yourself as God or Jesus in conversations, it's like there comes a point in your delusion as this famous person with all of this access where you lose yourself, right? Like where there's no...
You can't be taken down.
You're unhinged. It's nuts. It was just absolutely nuts.
Bonkers.
Y'all have to watch it. It was extra crazy. You guys make your own opinions about what you think about this documentary. Yes, it was absolutely biased and one-sided, obviously. 'cause
And I
50 Cent
recommend it
produced
highly.
Yeah, I mean, don't go there thinking you're about to get some sort of objective journalism from this. No, they're telling a story, and it's the story you expect.
captivating.
But I think it's important too, because for some people who might not be convinced that he is what he was, this could be a compelling narrative. So yeah,
I already
definitely check
knew.
it out.
I just
you already
wanted
knew.
to revel in it.
Yeah. No, yeah. Listen, you can do that too.
Thank you.
Um,
I will say your body belongs to you, and that's why it's important to get consent, because everybody else's body belongs to them.
yes. And what I would say is, you know, my husband and I have this conversation a lot. It's like, don't make moves out of desperation. I know you might feel like this is my only shot or this is all I've got. Like there are other options. Take a deep breath. Sit on it for a minute, take some time. Don't compromise your soul. Like, don't compromise your being, because none of these people, I think, thought that they were gonna be exchanging their like mental health or physical well-being or safety for the thing that they thought that they were seeking. And it's never worth it. So just please don't be making moves based on desperation. There's always other options. So yeah. And you guys, are we spinning the wheel?
I don't even know.
Let's not spin the wheel. That was kind of fun. We didn't last week, and we don't have to. And yeah, let's just get on out of here, guys.
right.
We'll be back. Just come back next week like you always do. We'll have fun.
We will.
See you later, guys. Peace.
Before we go, we must give thanks to Urban Nerd for providing our music, and legal services were handled by Trezanae M. Atkins. If you like what you heard, please feel free to join us every Wednesday for another fake-ass book club. Cheers. Thank you guys for listening. You can check us out at thefabpodcast.com. Please subscribe, Rate and review our podcast wherever you're listening right now. We want to hear from you. Come put it in our life. Thanks again. And until next time, peace, love, and the Fake Ass Book Club. We out.